Hi, I'm Bradley Mather, and today we're going to talk about your Newcomer Cuban dance, Live Forever. This is a 32 count, 2-wall line dance, as you know if you've looked at the step sheet. So we're going to be walking through the steps, making sure that we know where we're supposed to be facing at all the times, making sure that we understand all the technique behind it. So we'll give some tips on that. And I'll also go ahead and give you a couple of tips for when you're competing, how you can stylize it and just make it an overall better experience for you to dance and for the judges to watch. So we're going to start off talking about the steps. We're going to have weight on our right foot, and we're going to walk forward with the left, then the right, then the left. So that's 3 walks forward. 1, 2, 3. From here, we're going to do a right lock step forward. So we step forward on the right, lock the left behind, forward on the right. From here, we're going to do a step half pivot. We step that left foot forward, turn a half turn over your right shoulder. We're still on that left foot, and then we step forward on our right foot. From here, we're going to do another lock step, but this time with the left foot. We step the left forward, lock the right behind, step the left forward. From here, we're going to do a right rock forward, recover, and a cha-cha basic to the right. So we step the right to the right, left together, right to right. I want you to make sure that you haven't turned yet. If you know what's coming, it's a crossover break, hint, hint. We want to make sure that we haven't turned yet so that our turn to the crossover is nice and sharp. So we're going to turn a quarter turn to the right as we do a check forward on the left, rock forward on the left, a check, not a full weight transfer, rock back on the right, turn back to where you just came from and do a cha-cha basic to the left, left together, left. From here we do a spot turn or an underarm turn or an alemana, depending on what kind of dance experience or background you have. We're making a full turn over the left shoulder. So we step on the right, do that turn, forward on the left, finish the turn. We're going to do a cha-cha basic to the right, right together, right. And we do another crossover break, but this one is just going to be a smaller one. It only turns us 1/8 of a turn. So we're rocking our left as a check into our right forward diagonal. If this was 12 o'clock where we started, this is going to be 7:30. So checking that left foot into 7:30, recover onto the right, a basic to the left, side together, side. Same thing into this corner, checking the right into 4:30. We check, recover, a basic to the right, right together, right. We rock the left forward. Again, I like to do a check here, forward, recover. And to finish the dance, we're going to do a coaster step back together. And this forward step is the beginning of our new wall. That's beat 1. So we'll try that whole thing. I'll just do the cues this time. We're on our right foot. We're going to walk forward on the left. We walk, walk, walk with a right lock step. Step, half pivot, and a left lock step. We rock, recover, and a basic to the right. Cross over, come back, cha-cha to the left, full turn, cha-cha to the right, to the corner crossover, cha-cha-cha to the corner, and a cha-cha-cha, rock forward, recover, and a coaster into your new wall. We'll try that with counts. Forward on the left, ready, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1. Check 2, 3, 4, and 5. Crossover, 6, 7, 8, and 1. Turn, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1. Again, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Check 6, 7, coaster 8, and 1 is the beginning of your new wall. So let's talk a little bit about some technique tips and things that you can think about to make this a little bit more spicy. It's a cha-cha style line dance, so we want to have some of that Latin flavor in there. As we do these walks forward, we want to make sure that we have Cuban motion in our hips. So that just means that as you shift weight onto one foot, you let your hip settle that direction as well. So we walk forward on the left, and our hip just kind of settles to the left. Walk forward on the right, hip settles to the right. Walk forward on the left, hip settles to the left. From here, as we do this lock step, sometimes what I'll see is we step forward on the right, and then this left one is just kind of dead step. It's a flat foot that comes underneath. So we want to step forward and actually keep our left heel up and then take another step forward on the right. So in all of your lock steps, you don't want to have flat foot, flat foot, flat foot. You want to keep that locking foot, the heel off the ground. Step, lock, step. From here, we do a step half pivot. On this step half pivot, I like to step forward and make sure I have a nice strong pop. So my knee has made a 90-degree angle and I'm pointing my toes nicely. And then I shift my weight. This is going to help with your timing and helping you understand where you are in the turn and which foot you should be on at what time. From here, we're going to do a left lock step forward, same thing as the right one. So that right heel is not going to come down as it locks, and then we step forward on the left. From here, we check forward. A check is a type of rock forward where we don't shift our weight all the way forward. So I'm not coming all the way forward and then all the way back. I'm only putting about half of my weight forward onto that right foot. I like to think about it like I have a kickstand for my bike, and my right leg is going to just kind of stop me from going all the way forward. I also have a angle here where my left knee is coming in and is touching the back of my right knee. So if that's something you can think about while you're dancing, go ahead and think about it. If you can't think about it, just think as you rock forward, stop, don't go all the way, and then come back. From here, we do a cha-cha basic to the right. We want to see a nice heel up here as well, and then we push off. From here, we already talked about not turning right away to go into this crossover. It's going to make it look a lot sharper. It's going to make it look more purposeful, and it's going to make you look like a more highly skilled dancer, which is what we want for competition. So, in order to make that turn nice and sharp, since we didn't start the turn on that last side step, I'm going to use my shoulders to twist me to the right, and then let my hips follow. Then we have a check forward here on the left. So again, not all the way transferring my weight onto that left foot, only about 50%. Then we come back. Again, we twist the shoulders to the left, let the hips follow to unwind it. We do a cha-cha basic to the left, side, together. Again, a right heel off the ground. We step to the side. From here, we're going to do that full turn. On the step sheet, it talks about it more like a cross unwind. So we cross, unwind, 3/4 of a turn, and then finish on the first step of your side basic. You can also think about it as stepping diagonally forward and popping that left knee. I like to pop that left knee anytime I have some kind of pivot turn in my rhythm dances because it helps my timing be very clear. Then I step forward on the left, finish my turn, and cha-cha basic to the right. Right together, right. Here, these crossover breaks that go into the corners, especially if you're facing the front, are going to be an opportunity for you to be a little bit more playful with the audience, playful with the judges, wherever they may be around the floor. If maybe they're on the side, you can kind of look over to the side. If they're right in front of you, you're just going to look a little bit more forward. But you can style this a little bit differently than your regular crossover that we just did. This one, I'm probably just going to take my right arm back and my left arm forward as if I were doing partner dancing. That's going to be some very easy styling. When I'm going into these corners, you might want to be a little bit more playful. So you can go out just like before. Sometimes you might want to go up with your right arm instead of out. You can also take the right arm up and do like a point forward with your left. So you stare somebody down and point right at them. You could do a wink. You could kind of bite your tongue. Do something cheeky like that. You can also change it up a little bit. It's a little bit of a different action than we normally see in cha-cha, but it might be something cool to try checking forward with the left, pointing with your right, not all the way extended, and having your left hand on your hip and roll that shoulder forward. Just a little bit sassier. So if you feel like you can really pull that off, or even if you do and your coach doesn't, maybe you want to reconsider, but if you and your coach think you could pull this off, that might be an interesting variation to try. And then when we go back to the other side, check, recover, side together. Again, right heel up off the ground. Side, check. You can either match it or try something different or do something different on every wall. It's really up to you and what you think is going to look the best for your dancing. So we check, try one of the other variations. Obviously, it would be opposite hands. Come back. Cha-cha basic, left heel up on that step together. Step to the side. We check forward again. Here, you might want to treat this like a crossover straight forward. Boom. Right arm up, left arm forward. Or you could point, Or you could try one of those other variations we talked about for the corner. This is a great opportunity because you're facing directly forward, most likely at your judges. And then for this coaster step, I really want us to avoid having just a plain old coaster step that we might see in like a West Coast swing, whip, or something like that. So I want us to have a nice ball the foot, switch weight, ball the foot, switch weight, and step forward. Yeah, so I want this to be much more Latin, much more rhythmy. So we check forward and ra-ta-ta. You might even want to play slightly with the timing for this. So you might want to go, I think this is 6, 7, 8, and 1. So making those 2 steps, boom, boom. Play with the timing just a little bit there. You don't want to get too far off timing, but you do want to accent that that is a much more Latin coaster step than just back together forward like we might see in some other dances. All right, thank you so much for joining me again. My name is Bradley Mather, and hopefully I'll see you on the dance floor sometime soon.